Hello, back again to do another unboxing and review. Today we're going to be looking at the newest release for the Treasure X toy line. This is Treasure X Dragon's Gold Mini Beasts. Now this comes to us from Moose Toys, and if you're not familiar with what Treasure X is, I'll give you a short rundown. Treasure X is a collectible action figure line, and they come to you in a blind bag scenario, which means you don't know who you're going to get until you open them up. The main characters, now this is the Beast creatures, but the main characters were I should say humans that now they're skeletons, so you could say dead or undead, probably more accurate. And they all they come from different parts of the world, different time periods. So you have your pirate skeletons, you have your Egyptology type skeletons, and then you have your samurai skeletons, etc. So now this seems to be the creatures of that world. These are after all mini beasts, and I'm assuming they're also going to be skeletonized. So, okay, now I talked about blind bag, and that's nothing new. We've done that since the day of baseball cards. But you're going to see as we go through this that revealing the character you got isn't as simple as just opening the box and going, oh, I got this character. There's a lot more to it, and these steps of revealing your character are to be used as an activity. So it's more of the experience, not just opening it up and seeing who you got immediately. And we'll cover that when we actually go through this whole unboxing. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the package here. I'm going to zoom in so okay, so first off, this box is a little smaller than the I guess the main characters or the humanoid skeletons, and after all, it does say mini beasts. So let's look. We do have this gold. You're going to see gold is not only, I mean, the material here has this gold foil. You see gold written numerous times. So yes, gold and treasure is a huge kind of theme in this toy line of characters. Okay, now so yes, these are mini beasts, and it looks like we already have a picture of one holding what? Of course, gold. Anyway, so it looks like a skeletonized dog. Alright, now you also notice the X here, made in claw marks. That's a pretty cool touch. Alright, now let's go ahead and take a look around the sides here. You can see this whole gold foil thing continues throughout the entire packaging. And, oh, we have a character here. So this lets us know that there's 24 in all to collect for the beasts, or the mini beasts, I should say, and we have an example there. I don't know about you, but that looks like to me a cartoon version of a lesser vampire from the Witcher series. But anyway, okay, let's go to the back. And these are kind of what I was talking about earlier, those steps of revealing your character. It looks like we have 8 here. So there's a treasure map. Then we're going to have to take off some gold foil. Of course, gold, right? Then you get a little tool that you're going to use to dig your character out, who's going to come out in pieces. And then you assemble them, and then you might get extra little treasures. And again, gold perhaps. Okay, and then you get to play and display your creature. Okay, so overall impression of the packaging is it's effective. Even before I could read Treasure X, I saw the shape of the package and I saw the gold foil. So the new thing for the Treasure X series. So packaging is definitely effective, and even if I didn't know what it is, I'd probably be interested because good pictures of the characters, and again, the box is just kind of interesting. Plus, with the smaller size box, it really does fit nice in your hand, as where the other one was kind of more like this. So, and it makes it easier to grab a whole bunch of them when you're checking out, right? Alright, so for the unboxing, I've already taken off the shrink wrap that was around it. Now, we have this reflective cardboard here. And, okay, there's little tabs there. Hold it together. Alright, first thing we get is this. Looks to be the map and directions. Okay, so here's the map. Some idea of some of the treasures you can get. And then on the back we have the directions of how to go through discovering our character. More of the gold treasures. And then also some of the creatures you can get. And let me look at it here. Yeah, so it looks like we are getting kind of like, I don't know, you want to call them groupings or like clans or whatever. So you have your serpent characters, then you have some scavengers, and then bling Vikings, and yeah, alright, so mythical marauders. Okay, anyway, and then these are some of the other treasures you can get. These aren't the gold ones, but I guess these are the more common treasures. Alright, so now let's get back to this. Alright, so here's our little brick. And of course the foils, you guessed it, gold colored. And then there's some directions on here. So if you read nothing else, you know to, important for easier digging, unwrap and place block of water under running water for 30 seconds. Okay, so let's see, unwrap, put brick under water. Got it. Okay, well I'm going to go ahead and do that. So here's what it looks like once you get that foil off. You get your little digging tool resting right here on top, and this little cavity specifically made for it. Alright, so ran underwater, got my little tool here, and we're going to start breaking away into it. Check there. Alright, so you can see as you start to work away, you can start to see your character. So just clean it up a little. Got a little scraper on the back. Okay, so you can see, perhaps you can see, looks to be perhaps a head there, or a helmet, and I also see it looks to be a pair of wings. So, alright, so a little further along, you see I divided the main brick into two smaller parts, and you can see some of the stuff is becoming visible. And yeah, so, and you also might notice why I'm doing this in a dish. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I got my character all dug out there in his little bits and pieces. But this is a good time to remind you that before you throw away the rubble, make sure that you have your character fully put together. You can see how some of these pieces, like his legs there, how they're small enough they can easily be hidden in that rubble, especially since the color isn't all that different. Also, it looks like I might have gotten an extra leg. So I have his two legs here, and there's another leg. So, oh, bonus. Alright, and here he is, all washed up. So I'm putting them together, pretty simple, and I'll put the peg in the hole. So, but I was noticing on this particular character, maybe on the other ones as well, they come with, at least this guy came with a cloak or a cape. So at this point you can choose to either put this on or not. If you choose not to, you just go ahead and put on the head. If you choose to, you put this on first and then the head. Alright, here he is all put together. And let's take a close-up look at this character. So on closer inspection, there's quite a bit of detail on this figurine. So let's start off with his lower jaw here. You can actually pull it down, and it kind of springs back up, so that I assume would allow you to put a little treasure in his mouth or whatnot. Also, I actually had to hold this down while I cleaned that material that I had dig through, the quote-unquote rock. That was all stuck on the roof of his mouth, so I actually had to chisel it out. So I got to play dentist. So there's another activity. Also, let's look at his hood here. Most figurines would have this hood essentially fused to the side of his skull, but here, although you can't take the hood off, you can actually get your finger in between there. So when you look at it, it does actually give you that more realistic. You don't see it fused, so it looks like it would. You know, there'd be space between there, the skull and the cloth material of his hood. So that's really cool. Although you can't take the hood off. So anyway, going down here, we already talked about his cape, how you can use that or not. But of course, with him, it only makes sense you'd use it because it matches his nice hood. Also, if you look down here, he has some armor. Yeah, cool. And of course, he has an eye patch, and on that eye patch, well, you guessed it, a skull. And then we have his I don't know, ornament on the top of his head there, and also his beak, of course, has that gold cap. So something to look not only fancy, but I assume that would give him an edge when he's pecking his opponents, right? Some metal reinforcement. Okay, so yes. Oh, and also, if you look here on his hood, he has that little insignia. I'm not sure. I thought it was a $sign at first, but no, maybe it's some cult or sect or whatever. I didn't want to forget the little treasure that came with him. This is the, so it looks like an orb inside a claw of a bird of prey. So it only makes sense it would come with one of the bird characters, right? Okay. Anyway, so I'm actually really happy with this character, and this is one of the ones I actually really wanted, so it was a nice treat to get him on my first pack that I got. So would I recommend these? Definitely. If you're into the series, personally, I'm actually more into the Beast than the humanoid skeletons, so I've been kind of waiting for this. Even though I didn't know that they'd come out, I'm glad that they decided to do this addition to the series. So, yep, I will definitely be getting more.